What up, what up? Welcome to the Mail Review. It's your boy, Smitty on the weekends.
Co-host Johnny Kappa, peace.
Dope, dope. Today's podcast is going to be A Drunk Mind Speaks a Sober Thought. Whether or not you think that if you're sober and you're thinking something, does it come out more when you're actually drunk? Do you react on it? Do you think that people that get drunk and when they say something to you, are they saying just how they normally actually feel, or do you think it's just liquor talking? What are your opinions and what do you think? So, Capo, on your end, how do you feel about that?
I honestly maybe a little of both, a little bit of both. Feel like it'd be like there'd be some things I feel like I can't bring to somebody when I'm completely sober, and then like that I have a couple shots and I'm like, you know what? Just throw it out there. You know, and I just feel a little bit more comfortable. It's that social lubrication. Just like the same thing at a bar when you see a girl you're attracted to and you wouldn't necessarily talk to her if you were just in line at the grocery store. But since you had a few beers and you're a little more loose, you're like, hey, what's up? My name is so-and-so. You know what something like that.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
And then another thing, like, maybe not too, because there's a lot of things that I've said drunk I would have never said or even thought about when I was sober as well. Like just out of spite or just in like the heat of the moment. You know what I mean? I'm really drunk. I'm really accelerated. Somebody does something and I act in a way I would have never done if I was sober. Or said something I would have never said when I was sober.
I'm the same way. I agree with both. My personal opinion and my personal experience, there has been times where I said something drunk that's just been eating away at me and just eating at my chest, and I wanted to get it off. I just didn't know how to come across. I didn't want to start any confrontation, or I didn't want any animosity towards another person, or I didn't want the animosity towards me. But again, like things like that, if you let them build up, you let them build up. As soon as you take that like first shot, or I read something before. It was like, you had your first beer. After your fifth beer, I could have sworn I heard a voice that said, "Tell them how you really feel." So, that always stuck with me, and I was like, it's technically true because there's a lot of things I want to stay sober, but actually I do feel that way. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but sometimes by me just holding it in, I'm hurting my own damn feelings. I'm
exactly
being not happy with myself, or I'm just avoiding people because of how I actually feel. And getting it out there sometimes does work. So does alcohol help you get things off your chest a lot easier? To me, personal opinion, yes, it does help.
Yeah.
Also, again, everything you say true when you're drunk? Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not. I can lie when I'm drunk. Actually, a little better at it because I don't have like that. It almost comes off like it is the truth because I'm so loose and so, you know what I mean? Like just so bang, bang, bang. Like it seems like it's the truth, like something that's been on my mind heavy, but really I just came up with it right then and there.
Right. And your mind's not even thinking the same. So it's like, fuck it, say it. Who cares?
Yeah. And I find that like, I find more in like relationships with people that like I just met. It's more like I have to be kind of a little intoxicated to be like, hey, this is how I really feel. Because people that I'm close with regardless, drunk or sober. And I feel like I could talk to them like regardless if I'm drunk or not, you know, because they're not going to come at me crazy. But so, as someone who I just met and starting a relationship with, I might need those extra because I don't know how they're going to react. And I need to be like kind of like ready in a way. Like if I'm sober, I hate confrontation. But if I'm drunk, I'm like,
who cares?
See how far I can push them. Let me keep poking them a little bit.
Poking there. Nah, absolutely. Freaking, there's sometimes where I feel like the same way. In general, like around people, I'm an outgoing spoken person. So regardless, I can just hang out with anybody. I can talk with anybody. But I don't want to really technically be bothered with a lot of people, but as soon as I do start drinking, hence the Smitty on the weekend, like I'm 10 times more vocal, I'm 10 times more social, and I just want everybody and anybody around me because it's like I love the world. It's like, hey, everybody, what's going on? But then as soon as the weekday hits, I resort back to being an introvert all over again.
Yeah.
It's like, leave me the hell alone.
I hear
don't
you,
wanna be
bro.
bothered. Don't talk to me. And it's crazy bringing up that topic because there's a lot of other people that feel that way. Like, for instance, I believe, don't quote me, it's either Japan or China. I'm pretty sure it's China. They won't do business with a lot of people unless they're they take them out drinking.
You
first.
sent me that article recently. I was reading that. Yeah.
So they won't do business with you unless you go out with them, you have drinks with them, because they actually think that they're going to see the real you while you're drunk, the real you while you're drinking. And you're going to say something to slip up, either to mess up the business deal or say something great where it's like, you know what, yes, I want to do business with this person. But yet you become real you to see if, hey, is this somebody I actually want to do business with? Because their business is like being a part of their family in a way. So it's like,
Yeah,
be loyal
because you
to
can
all or nothing.
Yeah, you can talk a good one while you're sober and this and that, but when you're drunk, they start to see that other side you don't usually show people. You know, that starts to come out because you are a little more loose, and you're like, you know what, fuck consequences right now.
Right. Let me tell you the truth. This is, and then they're obviously going to start asking the same question more than once in a different way. So if you're asked the same question 3 different type of manners, or if in the same type of manner, you're eventually just going to be on some, you know what? That's how I really feel, but this is between me and you. Okay, thanks for your honesty, bro.
Yeah. It's like the locker room talk, and with men, it's like, that's not the way we would talk in front of women. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. That's banter amongst men, you know?
Yeah. And then there's also another aspect that's, like you said, the no is, all right, if we're thinking about it, there's a lot of things that I have done that I did not mean, like arguments, obviously, in a relationship, arguments with your friends, punching out bar windows, let's say, or going
just
home
getting
stumbling
into a
drunk,
fight.
or not getting in the car, not sleeping in your car, or these are things that no, I did not want to do when I was sober, but yet you're still doing it when you're drunk, or just completely cursing a random stranger out, and then if you're drunk, it's like more to end a friend relationship or even a female relationship or any type of relationship just off of the words that came out your mouth. And then that person's automatically thinking, hey, sober thoughts. He must really mean this because he's drunk and it's coming out. Yeah. But nah, sometimes you don't even know what the fuck you're saying. You're probably just mad at that time saying any little thing to hurt somebody.
Or it mightn't even be that person that you're mad at. It's just like something else bothered you, and you're like, you know what? I got no one else to pick on right now. So
so he's the punching bag. That person's the punching bag verbally and emotionally at that given moment.
And then the next morning, you're like, oh shit, did I really do that?
I also read an article. I don't know who it was. I believe Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great also felt like a sober mind speaks drunk thoughts. So he took his whole cruise ship, at least, and he got them all drunk. Obviously, see how everybody talks, how everybody is, and wean out who was actually loyal and who wasn't loyal. And so everybody did it. Everybody said how they feel, and everybody went on their rants. But yet, in the midst of doing that, 42 people died. So I'm pretty sure purposely he didn't want 42 of his crewmates to die just because he was drunk. But yet, being drunk, everybody's like, hey, sober mind, yeah, hell yeah. So this is how I feel. I can keep on drinking, which is another thing. Like, if you're drunk, you also tell yourself that you can keep on drinking. Oh, yeah. Even when you're drunk as shit. So is that a sober mind telling you, like, you know what, I can do this, I can drink more than what you actually can.
Or you'll deny how much you are drunk. I'm not drunk, dude. I'm drinking fucking gallons. Trust me, I'll be straight. I can drive. That's me, I can drive. Like, no, sit the fuck down.
Yeah, you cannot drive.
That's just, it accentuates the ego as well. So, you know, like alcohol, when you start drinking and stuff, you're going to be a little more like chest poked out, you know, head more up high, like, yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah, I'm good. How about you? You know?
Yeah, so, and another opinion, I think it's more of a psychological thing. You think that drunk people are speaking the truth. You might get some truth out of what they're saying, but I think probably 90% of it is bullshit, and then
Oh,
you might
bro.
get one or two fucking actual real facts that's coming out of it.
You got that maybe 5 or 10% sliver that's like where they say something really deep,
real,
you know,
right?
that
And then
they
it hits you, and then you're like, "Oh my god, he must have been talking the truth. That's how he really feels." Like, nah,
this whole time.
one thing
Like, no.
out of a
Because
million.
if you listen to drunk people too, they say a lot of contradicting things as well. You know, they'll say one thing how they feel about this, and then another thing how they feel about the same thing. It's like, wait, you were just over here. Oh yeah, he's drunk.
right.
So
Especially
it's like kind of
somebody,
because there's that too, like where you're talking when you're drunk, and then people are like, ignore him, he's drunk, he's not gonna be the same tomorrow. Trust me, you know.
Yeah. That's absolutely
So there's that
true.
too. Some people know that you're full of shit when you're drunk, you know.
But somebody will blame that on, oh, that's the real him. You gotta
Yeah,
watch out
yeah.
for that guy. That's just how he really thinks all the time. It just doesn't
Absolutely.
come out until he's drunk. So you got to watch him because that's what he's thinking the whole time. So he might be trying to either play you, set you up, or you just can't trust him as a human being. He's not a good person. So that also can be the case because if you are drunk and you're like that way all the time when you're drinking, either you need to stop drinking or you really just want to be that way.
Or yeah, you really might be a fucking asshole.
And some people are just fucking assholes.
And the alcohol accentuates that.
Absolutely. And it does other things too. So technically, like when I'm drinking, there's a lot of times where I'm with somebody that I don't even like, but yet I'm trying to smooth it over because, like, for instance, like this person might be related to somebody I know that I'm cool with, or might be with somebody that I'm just cool with. But off of alcohol alone, I'm making this person my friend for the night. Like, all right, well, he's cool. Let me just leave it alone. Where a lot of people be like, oh, that's fake, bro. You're literally hanging out with him. You don't like him. You have him over in your location. And you don't even deal with this guy. You don't even hang out with this guy or nothing. But yet, because you're on alcohol, you think it's okay just to be around this person to make your friend or your brother or your sister or your aunt or your uncle happy. Like, all right, nah, I don't like that dude. Or feel like, nah, I don't like that woman, but yet they're still around you and you're still offering them drinks just for offer hospitality, offer the strength of who your family is.
And to not burn like any type of bridges or anything.
Right, it's not
like
even
that.
burning bridges. It's like, it's burning bridges with your family.
It could lead to that, I guess.
Well,
you know
when you
what I'm
don't
saying?
care about burning the bridges, it's more of you don't want that bad blood there because technically he might or she might still be around family functions and things like that, and you just don't want it to be awkward every time.
Yeah.
So you try to diffuse conversations and situations.
And it's no fun getting drunk alone. So it's like, hey, this person's there.
Right,
Let's
again.
get drunk together. Fuck it.
Right. But then alcohol can do that to you. So technically, you wouldn't fuck with that person. You wouldn't hang out with these type of people sober, but yet you'll do it drunk. So is that a truthful mind? Mm-hmm. Is that a truthful thought?
Yeah.
No, not at all. It's the
like
opposite.
one person in particular, I'm not gonna say no names, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, like that would come around a lot to drink. We didn't really like him that much,
right?
But we would just entertain him while we were drinking because it was like, fuck it, you know.
And it was entertaining us at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there's several people like that, like where I don't do that anymore. It's like, nah, I just try to go out drinking by myself or hang out with the people I know because that comes with growth. But absolutely,
but when I was younger, it just didn't matter. And then, fuck it, you're there. You're another person to drink with. Let's go.
Right,
but obviously not somebody who I have like a real vendetta against, like a real problem with. I'm not gonna be having fucking drinks with, you know what I mean? But like somebody who's like that, like how you said, there's like a family matter. They mess with them, but you don't really fuck with them. But they didn't violate in such a way you can still tolerate them in that way. So
right,
like fuck it, let's have a drink. We can hang out while we're drunk.
Right. It boils down to in a way. It's like technically, if you had a sister. And your sister's always on some, oh, he hits me, he does this, we're arguing all the time. And you're like, well, leave him. Get away from him. Or if you show up and you're like, all right, well, now you got to fight or you're beating him up and then they're back together the next day. It's kind of pointless.
Exactly.
So,
which I'm sure if you have a sister, everyone can relate to that because that's whether she was a teenager and just dumb and naive at the time or whatever, you know, whatever the situation may be, we can all kind of relate to that.
So you hear that, audience? That just reminded me that's going to be a whole nother podcast issue and talk. Definitely going to have to bring
absolutely.
that up. We can definitely go down
with
that
sisters,
rabbit hole. And
I have
crazy.
6 of them and a lot of stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot.
But alone, like, when it comes to family functions or just to smooth things over, you might tolerate him during certain events, and it might take the alcohol to get you to tolerate him, which you won't even tolerate him sober. So where's that sober mind, drunk thought coming from? It's really contradicting in that way alone.
I think it's all just like anecdotal situations. Like, you know what I mean? Some people who like say that it brings out the truth. Maybe that's just how they do it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's how they speak their truth, like their truth, as they say these days, their truth. Like, but with me in every situation, I don't have to be drunk to speak the truth. Especially if I feel really deeply about a situation, it's like, I'm going to say it.
Oh, no, facts.
Or I'm going to just leave.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to leave.
Not facts, absolutely.
That's it. Yeah.
But, I mean, these are just opinions that I'm throwing out there with other people and things that I read, where a lot of people don't think that. And then obviously because alcohol is a mind stimulus, it literally messes with your brain in more than 4 different type of ways and affects every single part of your brain. Everything goes when you're drinking, including your walk, your vision, your judgment, your walking, like I said, walking, but like everything goes. The only thing that's a proven fact that doesn't go when you're drinking is hearing, but then your memory grows. So even if you hear something, you ain't gonna remember it the next day, but might react off of what you heard, which is pretty weird to me, but it's amazing. But honestly, those are just other people's opinions on things that I read. My personal opinion is I am not going to lie to you. Like, I am more boisterous when I'm drinking, and I am going to tell you exactly how I feel when I'm drinking. So after everything's all said and done, me personally, hell yeah, I think that shit is true. And then I am not going to lie. I befriended a bunch of people getting them drunk, including like me and you, like getting drunk, talking out your heart, telling people how you really feel. To me, it actually does work.
Absolutely.
Scientifically proven, psychologically proven, law proven, it's all false. It's not the case. It doesn't work. But yet, my personal endeavors, endeavors that I went through, it definitely works. And that's me speaking from a personal view of me being upset and just, again, holding it in, building it in. Hence, again, the purpose of this podcast is another way, another outlet of me getting it out. Because there's certain times where I'm getting drunk as hell just to be able to express myself, whether it is in a physical manner, whether it's in an emotional manner, or whether it's in just talking about it with one of my friends. Like, it takes the liquid courage that they say for me to be able to actually even talk about it. Or say how I'm really feeling.
Like that too, like when something is going on in my life and like I don't know how to, I'm not the type of person like I keep a journal and write in the journal and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Right. So the way I deal with a lot of my issues and how to make decisions on things I'm not sure how to make decisions about, I'll go and have a few drinks and think about it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm not feeling a particular way now, or like I'm thinking about it this way now when I'm sober, but let me have a few drinks and see how I feel about it. Let me like kind of mull it over when I have a few drinks in me to see how I really feel about it. That's how I feel sometimes. Like it's like the bottle therapy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, all right, I don't know what to do right now. It's like how they say, sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drink on it
right.
instead, you know, and then see how I feel from there and then develop whatever route I'm going to take.
Right. And I'm not saying, like, by far, we're not saying that it's a good thing. We're saying that that's how it is. It's just...
But sometimes it can be a good thing, too, though. You know what I mean?
Drinking to mask your feelings drinking to mask your feelings or not your feelings is never a good thing. But sometimes
not like
it works.
Masking
it
your
does work.
feelings, but... Yeah. Like sometimes you'll need it to
unwind,
make that decision. Yeah, or unwind, or just like you're so tense about this thing, so you need something to loosen up and be like, you know what? This is how I really fucking feel about it. You know,
it's not
and
even
then you
serious,
can really let it out. Yeah.
And then tell you the truth,
and it helps you just.
There's a lot of times where
think a little clearer sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I'm drunk, and sometimes I want to say something, and everybody that knows Smitty on the weekend is going to say something. I've been trying to be like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Fuck it, I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it anyway. But when it comes off my chest, yes, it comes off my chest, and everything that I'm saying most of the time, I'm going to say most of the time, is 100% whether factual or just how I feel. The way I say it also probably isn't
Comes
a good
off
thing. It
different.
comes off
Yeah.
a little different.
Comes
and it
off
comes
different
hostile,
than you would have
right.
if you were sober
Exactly.
and just said it. Yeah.
Like you'll add a lot
Like you
more
reach the
hostile
boiling
shit,
point and
right.
you say it.
It's not
Yeah.
your voice raised. You might throw a curse word in there every now and then because you can't articulate the word that you really wanted to say, or you might not even be able to come out with the thoughts you want to say. So you'll add a bunch of fuck yous in there, and I don't.
Yeah,
do
like you can't. You're drunk, so your motor skills are inhibited, so
Right.
you can't articulate yourself in the manner you would want to, as if you were sober. You know what I mean? So now, even more so, it goes to that point where, like, because you're drunk and you can't articulate your feelings right, you're like, fuck this and
Right.
fuck that, and everyone's like,
Oh, that's how it really feels,
asshole,
right?
dude.
Exactly.
You know, like he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But it's like if I could really express it, like articulate, you would fucking understand.
Right.
But I can't right now.
Absolutely.
But this is the only way I can.
So this
is
is what
because
you're
I'm
getting.
fucking,
Right.
I'm tipsy. So now I can say it, but I can't when I'm sober. So
Mhm.
write you a strongly worded text message next time. So.
Yeah. Which I have done as well drunk. Like, should I send this shit? Still the same thing. So sober thoughts, instead of coming out your mouth, nowadays it comes up on social media or fucking even your text devices. So instead,
Or for us sober, I mean, for us single guys, when we're drunk and we send that, hey, what do you do?
Right.
Text. It's 2:00 in the morning. What the fuck do you think she's doing?
right? So I was like, oh, you meant
But
that.
we finally got enough courage to be like, what's up?
Right.
You know what I'm texting you about. If you respond at this time, you know what the fuck it's
Oh, he
about.
wants to be with me. He loves me. Bitch, I was drunk. There's no consent when you're drinking. And that's for men, too. It's like, nah, you took advantage of me.
Yeah.
Sorry for
For
using
real,
the B word.
yeah. Oh, man.
But, like, again, with that, like, people go on Facebook, start going on a rant on Facebook, read it the next day, like, what the fuck was I talking about?
What was
like,
I thinking?
I don't even know
I
what the hell
gotta
this shit
delete this
means.
post
Right,
real
right.
quick.
Like, I don't even know what the
You,
hell
you
this
post it
means.
on your story. You're like, how many people saw the story? Only 3? Oh, I could delete it. Nobody will ever know.
Yeah. And then even with
Wasn't
text,
me.
you're sending out texts to people, and then you're reading them like, yo, I really don't feel that way. My bad. I was caught in my brain.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Or even,
there.
or even sometimes like with Chris, you know Chris obviously. Like I'll do some dumb shit at his house, right? And he'd be like, "Yo, what happened last night?" I'd be like, "That wasn't me. That was drunk Johnny." You know, like it's not me today. That was somebody else last night. It wasn't me.
Right, yeah, no.
So that all falls into like that.
And he does the same thing.
Sober
Like,
minds.
he does
and
the same
stuff,
thing.
yeah.
I'm pretty
Oh yeah,
sure
absolutely.
I've been there before.
Yeah, we've all been there.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Me personally, I feel like I'm not there as much as a lot of other people, but there's still that one, like literally, like, cheers. There's that one that says, you know what, no, I'm good. And then you take that one, you're like, fuck this shit. And then you're just acting brand new all over again. Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. And everything comes with age too. As you get older, you start to be able to handle yourself better with the alcohol,
Right.
so you don't look like two different people when you're drinking and when you're not drinking.
Right. I don't want to call it tolerance, but literally, like the bottle says, you're drinking more responsibly. Like, even today,
Yeah,
like, I got
absolutely.
my water, and then, yes, I do have a little something in here. But yeah, you're balancing
Oh yeah,
it, so you're
we
drinking
all
responsibly.
got a little something.
But you're balancing it. You're just drinking more responsibly.
Yeah,
than you would
exactly.
Instead of just chugging down something with no consequences on what alcohol could actually do. And not making
Mm-hmm.
the decision of, oh, what did you say last night? You remember what you said? Oh, you said this, you said that. Bro, I didn't mean any of that. I'm so sorry. My
Yeah.
bad.
Then you have to feel guilty
Right.
about things you don't even remember.
Even in a
You're like,
relationship-
did I really do that?
Like, even in a relationship, you're breaking up with your girl every time you're damn drunk. And then next day it's like, damn, I was bugging. My bad. I really don't want to break
Like that
up.
was fucking stupid.
I'm not going to lie. When I was young, I packed all my bags, put them in my truck, and I was out. Went back in the house and went to sleep. Woke up, was like, what's my clothes at? Oh. you were moving last night. That's right.
Yeah.
And damn,
You were ready to move on and start a whole new
right,
life.
a whole chapter and everything. Like, where am I gonna go in the world today? And then you sober up, like, man, sit your little dumbass down.
Yeah, man.
It happens. But was that a sober thought to a drunk mind? Shit, maybe at the time, but when you actually,
I think it's more
perspective-wise,
like when it comes to that, I think it's something like heavier. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to a drunk mind, speak sober thoughts. It has to be something pretty heavy and something that you've been thinking about for a long time. Something that's really been weighing on you. Yeah.
So technically,
Like-
in a way, like, I don't know what they call it, but like something that's true and false. Because in certain ways, nah, bullshit. But in a way, technically, like a lot of your talk, if you keep on talking, eventually how you really feel will come out.
Will come out. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what everything.
And that's why like a lot. Yeah. And so like it. Shit, I lost my train of thought.
That's why
I
the
apologize.
Chinese people like doing business meetings that way. It might be bullshit,
Yeah.
but eventually we're gonna read through the bullshit.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this shit.
Which even well, technically, if you're looking at it that way, it's true then, because there's a lot of people that go to the bars, or which is a whole other topic that we're going to talk about. Go to bars and get in fights or argue with a person, and they're just like, "Fuck this, fuck that, whatever. I don't care." Da da da. And then by the end of them getting their aggression off and everything else, they're actually breaking down because there was a deeper emotion behind why they're drunk or why they're upset, and then that actually comes out, and it comes down to them either like crying or telling somebody or a good friend like what they're going through at home or how they feel about somebody or what's really going on with them. So again, that might be sober thought. Drunk.
Yeah, and it's circumstantial too. A lot of nuances to this concept.
Right.
You know what I
It can
mean?
go all over the
Like-
place, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because it's just not
Yeah.
one way, and everybody automatically wanted to assume and talk about how that, absolutely, you're drunk, everything comes out. You could always figure out a person's real truth or figure out how a person is when they're drinking. I'm like, I really don't think that, because in a way, yes, you can, but there's certain people and a lot of people out there that
And it could be a situation too where you're like, you don't like think of a thing that heavy, or you feel like it doesn't bother you that much while you're sober. Once you start drinking, though, you start kind of thinking about it differently,
more
and you're
and
like,
more, yeah.
I was kind of disrespected in this situation, and I need to address it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the ego coming, and like you should just like kick it to the side, or maybe you should
React
you know,
on it and talk about
keep going down that lane, and like see where it goes,
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Because Carl Jung was a philosopher, and he used to talk about like the shadow self, and like we have two sides, the light side and the dark side. So maybe alcohol accentuates that a little bit. You know what I mean? We start playing with those shadows a little bit more when we're drunk. So that is a part of us. So that's what makes it true. But at the same time, it's not completely us.
Right, it's not who we
there's
are.
two sides. Yeah, there's two sides to everything. There's the yin and the yang. There's the good with the bad. There's the bad with the good. And we need it all, though. We need all of it.
balance.
Because, yeah, even like an ego is not a good thing.
Right.
But sometimes it is a good
And
thing
pride
to
is
stand up
needed.
for yourself.
No, also-
you gotta have a bit of pride, though, to stand up for yourself and be like, no, this is where I draw the line. And if you step over it, then there's going to be some consequences.
Right, and even like J. Cole said it, pride is the devil, because pride can get you caught up in a lot of situations, but also you don't
Absolutely.
want to not stand up for yourself, just like you said, because if you don't stand up for yourself, we're not telling you, again, like, not saying that it makes you less of a man, because we're on that stigma, and a man doesn't have a one point of view on what a man is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes, just as an individual, a human being, it's like, no, like, I'm not just going to let you run over me because it's not right. Not because I feel some way about it. It's just not.
Yeah, again, the yin and the yang. You need a good balance. You
Right.
need a good balance. You can't have more ego than you do humbleness, and you can't have more humbleness than you do ego. They have to like
Balance.
meet somewhere in the middle and balance out. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna be humble enough, but if you keep pushing me that way, you're gonna see what this ego is all about.
Yeah.
and we're gonna have it.
All right. So even on that aspect, like I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you have, but I have plenty of times in my family households where, let's say we're at a Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, and somebody's there that has been mad at you for a while. And mind you, you could have grown up with this person, you could have knew this person forever or just met this person, but magically they're getting drunk and then now they want to finally tell you how they feel. And they're coming across really disrespectful or want to get off their chest how they feel. Like on the opposite side, should you take that into account and be honest, you know what, this is how this person feels, then F them, I don't want to with them, I don't want to deal with them, I don't want to hang out with them? Or should you take it into consideration, like, you know what, this person's a little drunk, let me chill, let me
Again,
calm
it
down
depends.
and see how let's have this conversation when we're sober.
Again, it depends how much I know the person. You know what I mean? Because if like somebody I just met comes at me crazy, I'm gonna automatically go to that. They were just drunk. They don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? But if I know someone for a long time and like I know like, all right, they aren't very good with expressing their feelings, and then they have a few drinks and they do, I'm gonna take it to heart. I'm gonna take it seriously because I'm like, okay, I know you, and I know this is how you respond to these things. So again, it just comes to I think how much you know people and how they react, like to confrontate. Because there's some people I know, like you, like sober, drunk, you're gonna let me know, like, look, bro, wasn't cool.
So I felt.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit. You know, or whatever the situation has been, drunk or sober, you're gonna. But we're close enough to understand that. You know what I mean? But with some people, you just get to know them, and you can't really decipher. Are they this type of person that holds things in, and when they finally had enough, they let it out, or they just let it out regardless? So it's all circumstantial. I feel like, especially from that outside perspective, because you never know. Like with me and you are like that. Me and Chris are different. When we get drunk, we kind of let each other know. When we're sober, we're kind of like, whatever, it's cool, man. When we're drunk, I'd be like, yo, no, that was kind of out of line, bro. You know. But it takes us to be drunk to kind of tell each
A
other.
little bit of courage to be on some, you know what, this is how I feel, so let me just get it out now while I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's what I think, it just takes you to know somebody enough. You know what I mean? Because even the guy at the bar, the random guy at the bar you might get into a fight with, you don't know if that's how he always is or if he's just drunk right now. You know what I mean? Because you don't know him.
But
you know,
there's also times I went to a bar and I see somebody, like, guy or girl, it's cool as hell at the bar. I'm talking to him. Hey, he orders me a shot, order him a shot. She orders me a shot, or I order her a shot. And before you know it, I know more about that person's life than I know about a million people that I know. It's like, I know how many kids they have. I know their mother's name, their aunt's name, their everything aspect, where they work at, how much they make, just off of the fact
but then again,
hanging out with them and they're drinking.
That all might be true, like how many kids they have and where they work, but they might be lying about how they treat them kids, or they might be lying about how much they do really make or what they really do at the job. You know what I'm saying? So all that might be true, like the base facts might be there, but they might be accentuating a little bit on the details. You know what I mean? Or probably not vice versa, but you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Or they could be telling the truth completely, or they can be lying completely.
True.
You know, again, so I just feel like it takes you to kind of know somebody. Because even at the end of the day, we don't really know somebody completely until you're alone with them. But you can't be alone with them unless you are them. You know what I mean? So you can never really know somebody.
Yeah, unless we live in England somewhere and there's CCC cameras everywhere, and we know what you're doing.
Yeah. Or China as well. China is very scary with their social credit.
Everything's like, nah, we
That's
see
another
you.
podcast.
But no, you're absolutely right, because again, like, I take it for face value when people are talking to me when I first meet them, and whatever they tell me on alcohol, that's what I'm taking. I'm like, you know what, this person is like that. This is who they are, and that's what I'm taking. I have no reason to not believe this because I don't know the person
Exactly.
So I'm going to take.
And
it
that's
for
how
face
you should
value.
take it, because you never know if you're going to meet them again. You know what I mean? Like, this might be the last time you guys ever see each other.
But then after that, you can.
So it's like, that's how I know this person.
Right. And because I know that person from that, that's how you can build a rapport and a friendship from.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't want to build a friendship or a relationship from that when it started off as a lie from the get, because months down the line, years down the line, I'm like, yo, when I first met you, you said this, and now you're telling me that it wasn't the case, which that actually happened.
It's like
before.
when I first met you, you said you liked to mountain bike. So now when I hit you up the mountain bike, you don't ever around for mountain bike. But you're always around to drink though.
Right.
So you want to just be drinking buddies?
Right.
We don't have to be mountain
exactly.
bike buddies. We could be drinking buddies.
Right.
But just be honest with me.
Exactly. Just be honest. And again, like you said, so sober thoughts don't become drunk words because you're telling me straight bullshit. Like this one time I was hanging out with a person and it came down to the point it's like, oh, I'm about this, I'm about that, I'm about that. But now, because I went through all of this, I went to school, I'm educated now. Like, I had literally somebody tell me, oh, I did 10 years in jail, and I got out, I went to college, I hit the ground running, I did this, so I'm accomplished with all of this. And it took me, like, almost a year or two with his other friends that grew up with him. Was like, that person never did that. He didn't do 10 years. He did a year or two or a couple months here and there, but he never did that. But yet, he's telling everybody that's his success story, and then that's who he is as a human being. Like, so your whole character, your being to me is just a lie. If you just lied about that simple one thing. I was looking up at you like, oh my God, that's an amazing story to tell. That's an accomplishment. That is what other people can feed off of. And then the whole shit's a lie.
And lying comes from a sense of like, I feel like when you lie, you're trying to gain something. You know what I mean? Whether it be a network or a friendship situation, maybe it be I'm trying to get something off of you material wise, money, whatever, get closer to your circle because I'm really not your friend, but I'm trying to infiltrate your circle to kind of sabotage something or something like that. Like, so all lying, I feel like, comes from a sense of like, lying is deceiving, which is, I just feel like you're trying to gain something from me if you're lying to me. It's like, why are you lying to me? Just be real with me. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, then I'm going to look at you like a thief and a liar are very close. You know what I mean? You're trying to get something from me, and that's why you're lying.
So that's why they say, like,
whether it be my time, whatever.
Right. So that's what also, I don't want to keep on going back to it, but the whole Chinese definition of why they bring people to meetings and get them drunk, because eventually the truth will come out. So you can keep on lying, you can lie with your teeth, and especially unless again you become a professional liar, if you're asked the same question multiple times, multiple different ways with alcohol in you, you're gonna slip up.
You're gonna skip up eventually.
I'm like, well, I thought you told me this cost that amount. Now you're telling me it costs this amount, but you charging me this amount. You ain't say that before. Stick to your script.
Yeah.
You lost your own script. But if it's truth, obviously the truth is just going to flow out naturally. It's just going to roll off your tongue and sound normal, and you're not going to be able to repeat it and roll off your tongue again unless you just train yourself to lie to yourself.
Many different proverbs about like lying and stuff.
Unless
and they say like
lie to yourself all
lying, like lying needs to be clothed, but the truth could walk naked. You know what I mean? Because it's the truth and it doesn't matter. Even if you don't agree with it, it's the truth.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But lying wears many different clothes, many different masks. So
nice. I like that. But yeah, so again, it's other people's opinions and it is mostly opinionated. There's people out there that say it's factually proven that it's not true. And then there's people that opinionated just feels like, nah, it's definitely true, bro, because I do it all the time.
Just one thing like about facts and all, like there are very few things that are like completely objective in life. Most things are subjective. Most things like depend on relativity and like the way you deal with a situation. Like I could show you like this side of my hand and be like, where are my fingernails? And you'd be like, there are no fingernails, but I see 5 fingernails. You know what I mean? So you think there's no fingernails. I think it's just the side that we see. You know what I mean? What we're accustomed to and stuff like that. So most things in life are subjective. Very little things are objective.
Nice. Absolutely. Like, again, like a bunch of psychologists and a bunch of scientists did their studies, but everybody knows the definition of science is to keep on proving. So nothing's
just admitting. To me, science is admitting what you don't know,
right,
and trying to figure it out. You know,
it's a
like
scope of figuring things out.
We need to. We gotta explore more.
Right. Until something else is proven, this
more.
is what it is, but it's not factual because more has to be proven on top of this. It's all
Exactly.
what do they call it? It's all whatever, speculation until it's proven.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, most science is theories.
Yeah, theories,
most
right.
science
So
is theories.
if you get like 7 scientists to prove one theory, then fine, we'll go with that theory until you get another couple of scientists to prove that theory is wrong, which is basically what history is. And so the only reason why I bring that up is because there's a lot of scientists that say, no, it's not true. You're just inebriated.
Yeah.
You're drunk.
Like,
it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Even now, we've been through the whole like fucking flat earth thing and everything, but now it's resurfacing. You know, some people still think the earth is flat and everyone's
right,
like,
it's
fucking round. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I thought we already got
these
over
things
that,
always
right?
just, yeah, you know, like I thought this was a fucking,
I thought that was proven when I was
But
born.
no,
I thought it was proven.
yeah,
That-
way before it. Like,
Yeah, that and that whole global warming thing. Oh, let me not bring that up. Let me bring
Oh,
up global
yeah.
warming
Don't
when
look
I'm
up.
drunk. Global warming does not exist, or does it exist? I am not going to have a podcast
Yeah.
about that. I'm sorry. If you guys want that podcast, this is not the one.
this is just my little segment on it. This
Yeah,
is just my
yeah.
little segment on it,
Not
real quick.
agreeing
in
and not
like 20
agreeing.
seconds.
I think it's
Yeah.
It's,
No.
it's
Here's
happening.
my thing. I agree and I disagree. I agree that the Earth goes through changes. The climate changes naturally by itself, but we're definitely speeding it up.
Absolutely.
I think so.
I believe in
That's
greenhouse
my personal
gases.
opinion.
That's all I'm saying. I know greenhouse gases
we're
are
speeding
real,
it up.
so
But also, do we stop that? Do we stop that in the comfort of life that we're living?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Because
mean-
then that means no more air travel, no more cargo ships.
Again, I can
no
go
more
into COVID.
vehicles.
I can go into COVID on how COVID actually helped the stop of global warming and slowed it down a little bit because nobody was able to do
less
shit.
travel.
Sit your
Yeah,
ass
less
down
travel.
somewhere. But again,
And all the supply chains,
Right.
the cargo ships aren't coming overseas and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of pollution.
yeah, they said the skies cleared up a lot during COVID.
That's what I'm saying. Simplicity is brilliance. Bruce Lee said that.
Nice.
It's the way we need to live. Simply. Live simply.
We ain't going into all of that shit. We're not going into
Nah,
global
nah.
warming. We ain't going into COVID. We ain't going into Bruce Lee neither.
I had to just say my piece so
Absolutely,
people know where I stand. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's
You know?
but too much we could talk about it. We already said a bunch, and it's literally up to you guys. Like, if you still feel
Yeah, chime
that
in. Chime in. Give us your thoughts.
Alcohol
Give us your opinions.
does make you speak exactly how you feel, or if it doesn't. If you're able to do it sober and you won't do it when you're drunk, who knows? Let me know. Let us know.
Yeah.
Who really
And
knows?
let's go
I
Buffalo Bills.
personally feel
Divisional matchup tomorrow.
my team Raiders. We already have
Sorry,
the lead, but we did good this year.
Yeah,
Las
I know.
Vegas Raiders.
We're ready.
We did pretty good. I was
Going against
proud
the
of you
Chiefs
guys.
tomorrow. Buffalo, let's go.
Absolutely. Smitty on the weekends. I'm out of here.
Shout out Sow the Seed. It's my cousin's clothing line. Check it out. Get a chance.
Absolutely. Also, we
Johnny
support.
Kappa, co-host.
Absolutely, we support local brands too all the time. Like, shout out my boy, Certified. That's what we do. Certified biker.
You're gonna see
clothing
many
line.
different promotions.
Absolutely, and it's all local. It's all local brands. So if you guys
And if
wanna,
you have any, if you're in the area, you have any, let us know. If we like your product, not necessarily saying we're gonna endorse it, but if we like it, we will.
absolutely, yeah. If you liking me, I might like yours. But then
Yeah.
it's not right. I mean, I'm gonna send you an email politely back. Also, I'm sorry I cannot wear this product, but thank you very much for
Yeah.
your support. Smitty out.
Oh yeah. And comment, all that. Peace.